Jennifer, this sounds like huge news.
Sean, we can report, based on senior military sources, that U.S. warplanes have carried out airstrikes tonight inside Syria against Iranian proxy forces. We don't know the number of strikes. We were told earlier today to expect that perhaps F-15s and F-16s would be involved in the airstrikes, but we don't have confirmation yet about how many warplanes. But those strikes have been carried out. I'm told it is in response to the more than dozen strikes against U.S. bases. The message is a clear message designed to Iran and its proxy forces to stop carrying out these drone and rocket attacks against U.S. bases. But I'm told that the planes have safely left the area and that the airstrikes are complete at this time. They were targeting multiple locations inside Syria and Iranian proxy forces, Sean.
Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Racha, Kwadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. Now, this is some news that I just saw from ZeroHedge.com. Okay, and the headline states, U.S. warplanes conduct major strikes on Iranian proxies in Syria. Okay, so let's read a little bit about this and see what's in here. I'm just now reading it as well, so we in this together. We're all in this. All right, so it says in the overnight and early morning hours in Syria, U.S. forces carried out airstrikes on what it said are Iran-linked militants and installations in eastern Syria. Multiple targets have been hit. According to a statement by Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin, today at President Biden's direction, U.S. military forces conducted self-defense strikes on 2 facilities in eastern Syria used by Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, or IRGC, and affiliated groups. The attacks were reportedly done by U.S. warplanes, likely operating out of either the Gulf or Mediterranean areas, where new U.S. naval assets have recently been positioned. Keeping a watch on fast-moving events in Gaza, Fox issued the following breaking detail. F-16s and F-15s were used to strike targets in Syria earlier tonight in retaliation for the attacks on U.S. troops in the region. Okay, and so that sounds like another escalation right there, which I was watching yesterday. I was watching a video that was done by the elder Yashawanba, and he basically he was playing a part of, I think it was, he played like different clips, news clips in there, and in one of them, I forget who exactly it was that was speaking in there, but he was mentioning that the U.S. basically hasn't fully thought this through, because any sort of attack that they do that involves Iran can quickly escalate things. Okay. And they said, like, Iran, they got stuff over there. You know what I mean? Like, sanctions might lower the living standards, but sanctions does not, destroy their military system or their military capabilities. Okay. So you can only do so much with sanctions, but they're saying, man, that, and that's according to biblical prophecy, right? That things will spiral out of control at some point, right? It tells you in 2 Esdras, the 15th chapter, that the Carmanians, raging in wrath, all right, shall come in and join the war with them, right, and waste a portion of the land of Assyria, which is America, all right. So they gon' and them Carmanians, the Carmanians go back to the modern day Iranians, all right. So I mean, we're seeing what's going on in here, watching this very carefully. Now let's read a little bit more here and see what comes of this. Now, like, they could let this go, or they could not, right? Once again, it's all, about biblical prophecy here, right? So earlier in the day, there were reports, though with few details, that U.S. forces in the same northeast region of Syria came under attack. as has been happening in the last several days. So now what went from Amalek and the Mas, right, and Hummus, basically is now now you got the U.S. involved. Okay, now Babylon is involved, and now they doing some back and forth over here, over there in that region. All right, which Turkey's not staying quiet either. Okay, so let's see. The Pentagon had also earlier announced that over a dozen U.S. troops in Iraq and Syria have suffered traumatic brain injury in the aftermath of drone and rocket attacks on U.S. bases in the region. Now, remember, as it says in the book of Joel, the 2nd chapter, that the Lord said he said, I will remove, I think it's Joel 2:20 or so, right? Matter of fact, let me take a look at that real quick. So, hey, man, if you got the Spirit of the Lord on you, and you understand what times we're living in, and you're paying attention to what's going on, it's a blessing. Okay, it's a blessing to be able to look at world events and be able to pinpoint, context around those events prophetically in the scriptures, and to know, okay, why is this event happening? What is it going to lead to, and all these kinds of things. That gives you stability. Okay, see, we're not bugging out, we're not tripping, we're not losing our minds. If anything, we're stable, and we're excited to see how prophecy unfolds. Okay, the way it's manifesting in real life, it's gonna happen the way that the Lord has said it to happen. All right, but our focus is on the words that are written in this book and how these words are taking place in the earth. Okay, because regardless of what you want or what you say or what you think, Bible prophecy, right, which is the word of the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, is going to come to pass. And there's nothing that anybody can do about it. All we do is just point it out. We ain't controlling nothing. We're just here to point out what the Lord, the message the Lord told us, which is in the Bible. The same Bible that everybody has in their houses, for the most part. So this is Joel, the 2nd chapter, and just getting straight to the point. Joel 2:20. But I will remove far off from you the northern army. Now, the northern army here is referring to the army of Babylon, okay, or the U.S. army. When you read, like in Jeremiah, I forget what chapter exactly, I think 16 or so, it talks about how the Lord, it shall no longer be, basically the old Passover, right? It shall no longer be said that the Lord liveth that delivered the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. But the Lord liveth that delivered the children of Israel out of the land of the north. Which land is that? That land is Babylon or America. Because when you read in Revelation, the 18th chapter, that's where the main deliverance is going to come from, as well as Revelation, the 11th chapter. The main deliverance is going to come from Babylon, because this place is going to be a lake of fire as a result of the things we're seeing happening now. So this northern army is referring to the U.S. army, and will drive him into a land barren and desolate. Okay, and that's over there in that region, okay, of Saudi Arabia and that eastern region. Now, how is the Lord going to drive that army over there? Through conflict. Okay, through conflict. The scriptures tell you that, I think it's in the book of Jeremiah, the least of the flock shall draw them out. The least of the flock is Amalek. Okay, the people, one of the parties involved in what's going on over there in the in that war over there in the east. They're going to draw them out, meaning that whatever's going on over there through the actions of Amalek, okay, and whoever they're going against is going to force other nations to be drawn to that region, to send their troops and armies over there to that region. That's a part of the Lord gathering. Okay, he's gathering the nations round about. All right, but focusing here on Joel 2:20, right? But I will remove far from you the northern army, and will drive him into a land barren and desolate, with his face towards the East Sea. The East Sea is the Persian Gulf, okay, and his hinder part towards the utmost sea, which is the I believe that's the Red Sea, okay, and his stink shall come up, and when you look at the land between those two bodies of water, that's that region of Saudi Arabia. Okay, it says here, because they have bases over there. But due to conflict, they're gonna start sending more and more personnel over there. And guess what? As things get heated up, some of you are gonna get taken over there. That is in Second Esdras, I think the 16th chapter. How the women are gonna mourn, the virgins are gonna mourn having no helpers. The women are gonna mourn having no husbands, for they shall die in the war. What war is that talking about? And his stink shall come up, and his ill savor shall come up. Right, and that's gonna be the dead bodies, because guess what's gonna be happening over there? War, and people die in war. So there's gonna be a lot of dead bodies. That's where that stink is gonna come from. And the more they die, the more they recruit, and the more they send over there. And his ill savor shall come up, because he hath done great things. So now going back to this article, there's a video here, but I can't really play it. Maybe I'll since I'm doing this video in an audio way, I might play this in the beginning of the lesson. I'm not sure. Let's see. So it says, just in, U.S. warplanes have conducted airstrikes against Iranian proxies in multiple locations in Syria. So what's going to come of this? Let's wait and see. Below is the full Pentagon statement, which seeks to emphasize that this new high-risk military aggression is supposedly separate from the Israel-Gaza conflict. Breaking, Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin released a statement regarding the U.S. airstrikes on sites used by Iran's Revolutionary Guard Corps and other Iranian proxies in northeastern region. So with how much tension, with all the tension that's going on over there, there's no like mending relationships. Even if they try, there's no mending. You can't mend that because it's not meant to be mended. All right. The Lord is stirring up these nations. He's the mighty men are being woken up. All right, as it says, I think that's in Joel the 3rd chapter. Okay, the men of war, they all being stirred up. The United States is also seeking to reassure a region which is clearly at heightened risk of breaking out into a major war that it does not see conflict. First off, all right, I'm not even going to say anything, but the long-running military occupation of Syria's oil and gas region suggests otherwise. Okay, that is a different update here. It says, in the Pentagon's latest move to bolster U.S. defenses in the Middle East against the Iran threat. See now Iran is now pushed as the propaganda is against Iran. Okay, but that's also biblical prophecy, because Iran is one of the key members in prophecy. Ezekiel the 38th chapter tells you about that. Now the thing is, if Iran is getting targeted, we know that Russia is going to be involved, because according to Ezekiel the 38th chapter, Russia is going to be a guard, and a guard meaning a protector onto a series of nations. All right, and one of those nations is in fact the first nation mentioned, I believe, is Persia, which are the Iranians. So we know that when they start targeting Iran, all right, and they get into it with Iran the same way when Amalek, right, got into it, when things sparked up in that region, the U.S. immediately jumped and declared their support for Amalek, right? So when conflict starts sparking over there in that region, and they start going after Iran, Russia is going to jump in. Okay, Russia is going to eventually get involved, and as it tells you in Ezekiel the 30th chapter, you're going to have nations like Turkey, which is also going to be on their side, Ethiopia, Libya, all right, and some of those, as it says, those northern armies, so them regions, Armenia and all of that, they also gonna come in. So this thing, I mean, World War III is right there, all right, it's right there. Now we know that it's not gonna fully take off, because there's still something holding it back, right? Revelation the 7th chapter, the angels still have to hold back the winds just a little bit longer for the prophecy of the MOTB to be fulfilled. But you know what this shows, just like the elder apostle Tahar always says, it's going to move quick once they bring out that MOTB. Really, the long part is waiting for them to bring it out. But once they bring it out, it's going to have to move quick, because when you look at how tensions are rising, on different fronts, these other intermediate prophecies, like these prophecies that have to take place before that ultimate destruction, they're gonna need to be accomplished in a rapid pace, to fit the timeline. So we're gonna watch and see. All right, but however they do it, they're gonna come with something. All right, they're gonna come with something. Given the increased instances of Tehran proxies attacking U.S. troop installations in Iraq and Syria over the last week, some 900 more American soldiers will be dispatched to the region. And let's see. We just read about how the Lord said he's going to move the Northern Army over into that eastern region. So we're going to see. I wouldn't be surprised if they just keep on, if things spark a little bit more, and then next thing you know, there's like a conventional warfare over there. Then they start, drafting people and sending people over there because they need more personnel. Let me see what else is here. A CBS correspondent has cited Pentagon Press Secretary Jen Patrick Ryder, who says 900 U.S. troops have deployed or in process of deploying to bolster missile defense in CENTCOM's Middle East region of operations. They are expected to man Patriot, THAAD, and Avenger missile systems. Earlier this week, U.S. defense officials said these extra missile batteries are being deployed to the theater ahead of an expected Israeli ground offense in Gaza. So, what do you think other nations are looking at? Hey, it's like it, man. But how do you think these other nations are looking at this? They say they're like, these people right here. Hold on a second. First off, you talking about peace. You don't want anybody else to get involved in this shit, but you sending people over there to set up missiles. You send people over there to set up missiles. What type of shit? That's like if you got two gangs, right, about to go to war with each other, but really the fight is between individual members. It's like one member from this gang and one member from that gang, and they're like, all right, we all just gonna let these two go at it. But you got another guy from another gang like, no. Everybody on your side got to stay there. I'm going to jump in, though. I'm going to jump in and help my boy out. We're going to double team your boy, but you got to stay over there. How you think the other people going to look at him? They'll be like, this nigga right here. Yo, this is interesting. A CBS reporter noted this comes as Iranian-backed groups continue to attack U.S. military in Iraq and Syria. Fears are growing that a major IDF push into the Gaza Strip would unleash broader retaliation strikes on U.S. bases in the region. And warnings have already gone out, from various, nations, in that region. So it says this could include Hezbollah, which operates both in Lebanon and Syria. Amalek's preparation strikes for the next stage of war, according to its officials, have continued to grow in intensity. Okay. Yeah. So that's what you got going on here. And there's a lot of information in this article. Let me see. Maybe I'll just read just a little bit more. Iran has become more vocal in its threats against Israel in response to the soaring death toll in Gaza, which has surpassed 7,000 Gazans killed. Okay. It says on Thursday, Hussein Salami, the commander-in-chief of Iran's elite Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, or the IRGC, warned that if Amalek sends ground forces into the Strip, the IDF will be buried. Wow. He stated if the Zionists launch a ground attack in Gaza, they will be buried. If the enemies think that the Muslims will watch these crimes from the sidelines, they are gravely mistaken. According to a translation in regional media, he also aimed the comments at Washington, saying the U.S. will be buried by the fire they lit. This is leading to Bible prophecy. Okay, we can't say it any clearer than that. It is leading to Bible prophecy. It's all in the scriptures. It's all in the scriptures. It's all in the scriptures. All right, this is what we've been warning you about years and years and years. even going back to our elders and apostles at a time when it was thought hilarious to even mention World War III. I remember when you would mention World War III, people would look at you and laugh like, well, what the hell are you talking about? You're a conspiracy theorist. That's what they would say. And now this is what's on. This is, well, at least for people that are paying attention, they can see it, right? And our attention is on here because this is the region of interest when it comes to that Bible prophecy. Okay. Now, when you read, there's a document. I think it's called like the it's a letter, I think, that was sent between, I always forget their names, but it was Giuseppe Mazzini, some I think that was his name, and Albert Pike. And it was talking about the 3 world wars, but it specifically for the 3rd World War, they said it would be between the Zionists and the basically the Islamic region. It said they would be between them. That's how it would start. Okay, and then it would spiral into something bigger. So they know exactly what's going on. All right, things are getting interesting. All right. Let me finish it off with this. This is the book of 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 1. But of the times and seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you. For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord Yahweh Bahasham Yahushai so cometh as a thief in the night. So we already know what time it is. We know what the Lord is getting ready to do. Psalms 119 and 126. It is time for thee, O Lord, to work, for they have made void thy law. All right. And the Lord is getting ready to bring great and heavy judgment upon this place. And just like that, all hell could break loose. You know, and I'm talking about in a inner cities and all of that. Okay, just like that, something could just pop up on the horizon, and things could change before you know it. Because that's how look, prophecy is set for an appointed time. That means at that time, it's going to happen. It doesn't matter if a day before everything was like la-di-da, everything was all sweet and calm. The second that time hits, boom, whatever needs to happen is going to happen. All right. Verse 3, for when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. All right. So we're definitely living in some prophetic times. All right. And that's why it's important now more than ever to pay attention, to remain diligent. Okay. And to do what the Lord sent us here to do. And the Lord said he's going to take care of us and protect us through it all. All right. So we have no fear. We're going to put our faith and our trust in the Heavenly Father, whose name is Yahweh, and his Son, whose name is Yahushai. So with that, Lord willing, you were edified and informed. In closing, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Recha, Kodash. And until next time, Shalom.